Hey there, native fish people. Today I'm going to show you how to build a do-it-yourself background. Same one I have on my 20-gallon long stream tank. I'm making it for this tank here. This is, I believe, a 30 long or 33 long, something like that. It's 4 foot by 12 by 12. Anyways, let's get started here. What we're going to need is we're going to need some grease up foam. This is what I used on my other one. Works great. We just have to seal it when we're done here. You may need 2 cans depending on the size of your tank, maybe more if it's a really large tank. On my 20 long, it only took 1 can. So some polyurethane spray. This stuff is completely fish safe, aquarium safe once it's completely dried. Some silicone, make sure it's 100% silicone, a tape measure, some sort of utility knife. I got some toothpicks, may not need those. Your foam, you can use regular styrofoam like this, or you can use the pink poly blend foam or whatever it is for, people use for insulation. You may want to get some rocks, maybe some little sticks or something to put into the background and work it in there. What we're going to do here is first we're going to have to measure the styrofoam for the tank, which I've already done that. So, and since I'm doing the back of the tank and one end, I got the second piece here that's going to connect somewhere down here like so. And to do that, I'm going to stick these toothpicks in here. Just get them in there like this, leave them out, I don't know, ½ inch or so. Whatever, you don't want to go all the way through this other piece of foam, because this is what we're going to stick it on. And this isn't going to be a permanent hold, this is just going to hold it in place so I can get in here and begin doing what I need to do. And spread that out a little bit more. I'm going to silicone this piece on here. So the silicone is going to act as a glue to glue any extra pieces you want. When you're building this, you're going to want to mark where your filter inlets and whatever spray bars are going to go, and you'll have to cut for those pieces and then build, leave a gap in the main part and glue another piece over or something, to go around. But since my tank has already built in overflows and stuff, I really don't have to do too much of that. I'm going to have to cut an area down here for my spray bar. And on this end, I'm just going to use this piece of PVC pipe. I got a cap or a vent or a strainer or whatever that goes in here like this so no fish get sucked up in it. But my intake for my canister filter will slide right down in here. So this is going to go down in this corner like so, somewhat. And first, let's attach this piece while I'm just thinking about it. Well, shoot, I guess I better silicone first. Just put a bead, down the whole length here. This is going to be your glue. We'll have to let this dry 12 hours, 24 hours. At least 24 hours before you get it wet. But since I'm just doing this all in one step here, I'm going to attach this. Okay, see, now that's going to help hold that in place. Now that's going to be like that, but I'm also going to get started on the rest. Spraying and everything. You're also going to need sand, because that's what we're going to cover the whole thing in. We're going to spray this foam down. Some of this out here, but we'll spray it on the board. And when I did my 20 long, it wasn't quite that big, so I just I did the whole thing, and then I went and covered the whole thing in sand, and then let it dry for a couple of days. But this is a little bit bigger one, so I may do some of it covered in sand and go from there. You know, just use this like this. Also, I'm going to have to measure this tank I'm doing. It's going to have different water levels. On this side, it's going to be deeper than what it is over here. It's going to be pretty shallow, maybe 5 inches or so. And I got a big rock that's going to go the whole width of the tank. That's going to need to be in there. So let me see, take some measurements and stuff of that, and I'll cut out where this rock is going to be so I don't have to worry about trying to wedge it in there with everything. Okay, as you can see, I moved down to the floor because this part, my table just wasn't quite big enough, and it gets a little messy. What I'm going to do is we're going to take and spray this foam on here. Since it's such a big sheet, I'm going to do about half, and then I'm going to go, before it sets up, and pour sand all over it. I'm going to let that set overnight. This stuff cures in 8 hours, but I figured, you know, overnight, 10, 12 hours, whatever, it should be ready to go. But so what I'm going to do, I'm going to start down here. I got this little PVC here. This is this hole here is where my spray bar comes in. And as you can see, I've already cut where that, told you that big rock is going to set. So hopefully when I get this off, I can still get the rock in there perfectly. But yeah, this PVC piece is here. So when I spray the foam, it doesn't fill up the gap all the way, and I can still get my spray bar in there fairly easy. So, all right, let's start spraying this, and let's see what happens. You don't really want to go too far over, otherwise you're going to have to trim, because this stuff expands quite a bit. I'm going to try to go about right here, and hopefully see this. You may not want to touch it. This stuff can irritate your skin. I've done it before. It doesn't bother me too much. Just stick this filler in here. Like I said, try not to get too close to the edge. I mean, somewhat where you want it to go, but like I said, this stuff will expand and cover up any imperfections. You don't want it to be perfect anyways. And later on, you can always go back if it's not looking right, like how you want it. Go back, and now we'll just take and pour the sand, but you can always go back. And don't worry yet, it's going to get smashed down. That's fine. That's what you want. This stuff is still full of expand, but yeah, cover it all in sand. You know, like I said, try not to get it off the edge. You got to be careful in that part. But one thing that's not is if you put sand on the bottom, you know, along the edge like that, and then pour it on there, it keeps it from pushing the sand off. And I didn't go all the way to the bottom on this side because, like I said before, this is going to be a shallow part of the tank. I just did the whole thing. I don't know, just because. And when you're doing this, if you got any rocks or pieces of driftwood or something you may want to stick in there, you can go ahead and do that. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it or not. I got a couple pieces I thought looked kind of cool, but I don't know. I guess I could. Let's put some in there. Maybe. Yeah. Guess it ain't going to stick right yet. It's not. Like I said, it ain't going to work, is it? I don't know why I did that. While I pull that out of there, shove it in down here some. If I already got sand on it, it ain't gonna stick. Yeah. And we want to do it outside also. So that way you ain't dirty your dry floor. If you're worried too much about that, I don't care. I'll just squeak it all up when I'm done. Cover the whole thing. Make it look good. Get it all covered up. You know? Like I said, if you're doing this big of a tank, you may want to do half, because this stuff loses its stickiness after about 30 seconds. And you don't want that to happen, because you want this sand to stick on there really good. Come over here, put some down here, get in. But yeah, you need to add, like I said, add rocks, sticks, whatever. Put it in there as it's setting up like this now, and then I'll leave it, and it should just be fine and set up really nice for you with pieces of sticks, leaves, whatever. However you want to make it. I'm just doing sand. That's it. So let me finish this up, and we'll get back with you. What we're going to do, we're going to do the whole thing, cover it in sand, let it set overnight. And then tomorrow we'll dump the sand off and see what we got. Here's what the background should look like when it's fully covered with sand, you know. You gotta get a bunch of sand on top of it. It's gonna come up and, you know, expand the foam wheel and sometimes break through the top of the sand. Just keep putting more sand on top of it. I mean, it'd be better if you could have it in some kind of container, but I'm just doing it on the garage floor, so I'm working with what I got. But just keep piling it on there, and once after, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes, you should not have to worry about any more of it expanding. It should all be good. So, and then just leave it set overnight. Okay, now that we let it all dry, dump all the sand off of it, and it's going to look something similar to this. Now, see how this is all bumpy and it's got little caverns and everything in through here? And then this piece here is more, I don't know, you don't have a lot of the caverns. If you want more of that look, you got to put a lot more sand on top of it. Really pack it on there. But I didn't have a lot of sand, and so I tried to cover it best I could when I did the majority of it, and it kind of foamed up, expanded more than I thought it was going to. So I got all these little caverns, which at first I didn't think I liked, but the more I looked at it, I think it's kind of cool. It's going to get places for the fish to hide, and you know, it's going to be pretty cool. But there's my intake for my filter. Right there, I added a rock here. So, but now that it's all done, everything's dry, you got the sand all, you know, dumped off of it real good. I'm going to take your polyurethane spray, and we're going to spray this. You got to coat it really good. So, and I think it takes 24 hours. Yeah, it says 24 hours to cure, but I'll probably let it set 48 hours, maybe 72 hours to make sure it's really cured. The polyurethane spray is cured, because otherwise it can harm your fish if it's not fully dry all the way. But yeah, let me switch hands here, try to at least. And we're going to take the spray, lay something down where you're going to do this, because you don't want polyurethane spray all over stuff that you know you don't want. But and we're just going to spray this. I mean, you're going to have to spray at different angles to get down inside of it real good. So but alright. Okay, but yeah, like I said, just, you know, make sure you coat it. Really, it's safe to put in a fish tank like this, but the reason why I spray it and coat it, it keeps the sand from coming off. You know, adds another layer of safety, so it makes it stay nicer. You know I'm not gonna be able to get everywhere in there, but do the best you can, you know. And like I said, if you don't want all these little caverns, just pile the sand up, you know, a good 3 or 4 inches of sand on top as it's expanding will keep it from doing this, and you know, it would be more like that. So, all right, let me get this sealed, and we'll get back and we'll let it dry and put it in the tank then. All right, got it all sprayed down. So now all we got to do is let it dry. Like I said, at least 24 hours. I'll probably let mine set 48 hours. Should be all right. But you definitely gotta let it set at least 24 hours after you sealed it with the polyurethane spray. And then once that's done, we can go ahead and use silicone and put it in the fish tank and glue it to the back of the tank. All right. Well, we'll get back with you after this is dry. Okay, the background, it's completely dry now. It's been 70 something hours. I'm not sure exactly, but it's been sitting here. So it's completely dry. Now the only thing to do is to put it in the tank. And to do that, you just cover the back, you know, put a bunch of silicone on the back, slide it in there, stick it in there.